Huawei sues the US over a ban preventing it from selling network gear. Huawei is suing the US over a law that bans government agencies from buying the technology giant's equipment, claiming the legislation is unconstitutional, as the company goes on the front foot following months of political pressure. The lawsuit, which was filed on Thursday local time, focuses on a provision in a law known as the Section 800, but lawyers for the world's largest network equipment maker by revenue, argued that the provision in the NDAA is against the US Constitution. Huawei has faced intense pressure from President administration, which claims the competence by the Chinese government. The tech giant, top executives, have repeatedly denied the allegations that Huawei is a security risk, while the company has also been carrying out to change its image. The Chinese firm, Huawei, argues that the provision in the NDAA in which it is explicitly named is really a bill. Huawei's legal team is essentially arguing that, by including the provision in the legislation and banning the company's sales to federal agencies in law, Congress is unconstitutionally acting as a judiciary. The federal district court where the lawsuit is filed will make a decision on whether Huawei's lawsuit will hold. Either side view Huawei will be hoping that by getting Section 889 of the NDAA scrapped, it could open the door for conversations with the US government. Glenn Naker, lead counsel for Huawei and partner at Jones Day, claimed Thursday to CNBC that the American law is hurting its. Huawei has long argued that its absence from the US market will hamper competition in the next generation of mobile networking technology. You claim that the technology firm is also fighting fires on other fronts. Huawei's lawsuit against the US bears some similarities to a case in 2018 involving Russian cybersecurity firm Kaspersky Lab. In September 2, Kaspersky filed 2 lawsuits against the government, with one claiming the move amounted to a bill of attainder. The 2 lawsuits share this video. Got a confidential news tip? We want to hear from. Sign up for free newsletters and get more CNBC delivered to your inbox. Get this delivered to your inbox, and more info about our products and services. Copyright 2019 CNBC LLC. All rights reserved. Data is a real-time snapshot. Data is delayed at least 15 minutes. Global business and data also provided by. Your browser is not supported. The requested video is unable to play. The video does not exist in the system. We're not able to play this video if an ad blocker is enabled. Please disable your ad blocker on CNBC and reload the page to start the video.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.